I would say if you are a woman in the industry, any industry, but a woman in the industry, like whether you're 1 year in, 10 years in, whatever it is, I would say do some work to go inwards a little bit and figure out how you or what your value is first and foremost. So, what makes you stand out amongst everybody else? What do you bring to the table that other people don't? Get to a place where you understand that for yourself. And then from there, it's about how do you use that to add value in spaces? How do you use that to get more intentional with your career and invite the right opportunities your way? So I would say very early on, we need to be thinking about those things more, but also, and I will finish up on this because I'm aware we're on a timer. For me, it's about how, as managers and leaders, do we get more intentional with how we're supporting women coming up through their career to be doing that? How do we make them feel way more confident and comfortable to take up more space, to talk about themselves more, to own their achievements more, to talk really openly about their strengths and where they excel and all that great stuff? How do we create environments in which that is commonplace versus something that is deemed or could be deemed more divisive or more open to opinion? I think that should be where we want to get to. I already knew that in terms of the day-to-day role and people management, leadership, all that stuff, that was something I not only enjoyed but was good at. So it was kind of coming back into work. That was like putting on old shoes again. Like I very much understood what was needed from me in that space to have an impact. So because of that, I had the luxury of going, okay, looking around me, where else can I have an impact? What can my experiences bring that I could hopefully support other people through similar challenges? So where I first started was building out and taking part within our buddy system internally for returning women. So it started off being very specific to returners, primarily maternity returners coming back from having time off. Caught the bug very quick, just for supporting other women, empowering other women, enabling other women. So that very quickly became much broader. How can I have an impact on as many women as possible? And I am a big believer in the fact that the most powerful thing we all have is our own story. So our own story, our own experiences, that is in a lot of respects and in a lot of forums our most valuable currency when it comes to developing the people around us and enabling the people around us. And thankfully, or not for some of the people around me who have to listen to me, but thankfully I am um, programmed to share. So I've always been overly confident in terms of being able to share my emotions, my experiences. I am the definition of wears her heart on her sleeve. So I've never kind of shied away from talking about challenges or having the difficult conversations, and I am hyper aware that that's not the case for a lot of people, specifically women. And specifically within the workplace. I think when we're talking about things like challenges around um, maternity, challenges around postnatal mental health or mental health in general, those topics can feel still quite taboo, even though we have come a long way in terms of the way we approach those types of topics in a professional environment. But for a lot of people, there is still that niggle in their brain that how is this going to impact people's perception of me if I talk very openly about challenges I've faced? So, because I find it quite easy to do that, I felt a responsibility to share my own experiences. And for people and women, again, specifically out there who, for whatever reason, feel they can't do so, I hoped that would help them feel more validated in what they were going through by hearing somebody else talk about it really openly. So that's kind of where we started. Primarily, I was talking about things like postnatal mental health. I went through a really significant period of struggling with postnatal depression, postnatal anxiety off the back of having Max. So I talked really openly about that in a number of different forums. And then that kind of moved through to me talking about the insecurities of returning to work and all of that stuff I felt. And then that naturally transformed into more of a conversation around confidence and establishing your value and being able to really understand what you bring and recognize yourself before expecting other people to recognize you. Um, and that's kind of where it became broader and, in my mind, even more impactful. And that's a lot of the conversations I've been having over the last 12 months or so with lots of different women.